Officially unmuted. Cool. Alrighty, I will go to your island, the online play. I think it's working.
Oh, yay. It looks like the Twitch is frozen. Is that normal?
Oh no, it's not normal. Is it? Let me check on my phone and see if it's just...
It could be on my computer too. Let me check. No, it looks like it's frozen.
Oh no, it's going live right now on my phone, so maybe your end.
Oh, I guess I could try. Okay, cool.
Frog. Do you want me to tell me more about your island name, or is it not that significant? It's okay if it's not, but...
Oh, sure. The frog name just comes from my love of frogs.
I didn't know you liked frogs. I mean, that's not something you'd probably share with everyone, but...
I mean, yeah, I love them. I made a project a few years ago about all the different frogs in Florida because, well, I could get into it more later, but ultimately I just think they're interesting how many different kinds there are.
Yeah, I had this one biology professor who studied like multiple different frogs' mating calls. And recorded their audio and studied the audio waves on them for like, yeah, and was obsessed with frogs as well. Like the whole classroom was just frog central.
That sounds like a fun class. Yeah, I mean, I generally like animals, so but frogs, I guess, they sort of spoke to me the day I made my Animal Crossing account.
Ooh, I don't know if you have any frog villagers, but or trying to collect them.
No, do you?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Oh man, no, I have a hamster. I have a couple different like squirrels. Are you on my island now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're queen.
Oh wow. You have a dragon? That's
Oh yeah,
cool.
dragon. Where are you? There. Hello.
Yes, please go for it. I mean, usually I ask questions in between or let you just take the stage and I can ask afterwards, but just let me know whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay, yeah, you can ask me during. So, am I just supposed to give you a tour?
Yes.
Okay. So, basically, this is the dragon. His name's Drago. I don't really love my neighbors. I know that was one of the questions you were interested in, but I'm going to give him a coconut tree right now and see what he does. Seems like he's kind of into it. He says, "Oh man, that was a real great surprise gift, a total surprise." And then he gave me a coverall coat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I like to. The only thing I really do with the neighbors is I give them gifts, and then they, give me items. So I love that. This is my outdoor beach dining area for the fall, where I can make pizzas and go in the lights. And then over here we've got some artwork that I got from that fox character. This is the museum. I just gave the owl, I just gave him a picture of, or I just told him that I found Brewster, let's see over here. This is my town area. You just gave me some items?
Yes. You don't have to open them now, but they're just some presents. And yes, I do not like the cafe feature. I don't know if you've tried it fully, but
I haven't. I just told him today that I found him, so I haven't really tried the cafe. I meant to leave items for you in these stalls, but I forgot to get them, so I'll have to get some in a little bit. But this is sort of my candy area, and you can play Go here if you want.
yeah.
Then we've got that guy that buys weeds is here today, so it's fine. Over here, we've got my sandcastle cooler area where you can get different snacks and do sandcastles. And then we have the sitting area. I forgot to show you the peach chair. I love it. And this is another sitting area where you can hang out with your friends. Well, like I said, I don't really go there with the neighbors. Because, I don't know. I wish the neighbors were more interactive. They just sort of, like, they just tell you their worries and stuff, which is weird. Merry-go-round. This is my house. This is my outdoor, like, eating area. I just found out that you can make recipes. So I haven't been playing for like a year. So I when I knew we were doing this, I had to get like back into it to see what was going on. And so I've been trying. I wanted to make some recipes, but I don't have any of the produce or like things you need. This is my basketball court. And my house. Uh-oh. Okay, come on.
Ooh, I love the all black look.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, cool. So now you'll enter into the living room.
Ooh.
And in here we've got rock wall. You can see that we have Christmas stockings, music playing. Oh, I guess I could have my. I'm gonna put the sound on so you can kind of get a feel for the KK songs I have playing. I love the bug heads, so I have some of those up on the wall. There's Brewster, because I thought he was kind of funny. And that's my pet bird. Some paintings up there. And then this is the bathroom. Basically, it's just small and has a painting by Surratt up there. Surratt, I don't know if I did. I love it. Pointillism. Okay, and then over here, we're gonna go into my favorite room, which is, I refer to it as the fruit room. It's basically just where I keep my fruit outfits.
Hopefully I went to the right room. I think the back room.
Oh, yeah, the back one, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we have all different fruit stuff in here. Also a TV. And I made this wallpaper. There's a fruit wreath. Fruit umbrella. I also have my hot dog dress in here because I like that little hot dog outfit.
Oh,
I guess
this is so cute.
I don't think I can change into it right now because we're here. Okay. So now I'm leaving the fruit room because I'm going to show you the kitchen, and then I'll show you my crafting room and my bedroom.
So do you have any of these rooms in real life?
No, definitely not.
Or do you wish?
I don't know. I like the kitchen. Yeah, I kind of wish my kitchen was more like this one. Even though I don't drink espresso or coffee, I love the coffee stuff in the game. And I like all the I love these fireplaces, the wood burning fireplaces. I wish I had that in real life. And that's about it, I guess, from this room. I like having the plants hanging on the wall, and I wish that in real life, when you hang plants on the wall, like you didn't just like spill water all over the wall when you when you water the plants. It's hard for me with indoor plants because then water gets everywhere.
That's really funny because I feel like every time I've asked folks about their house and what they want to keep, it was like their kitchen. Everyone pointed out to like their small kitchens and that Animal Crossing have bigger kitchens, more appliances, and I don't know.
I mean, I kind of do wish I had this bedroom because I love the wallpaper and the fossil, and I love this red fish thing. And again, I love the wood burning fireplace. So, and I like how it's, the thing about Animal Crossing that's funny is you can easily have you don't have to have your items everywhere because you have that storage that no one can access except for you. And so I don't really understand where the storage is because in real life, you only have so much storage. So all your items are just laying everywhere. So I think that's another thing I like about Animal Crossing World is that you don't have to see all of the items, but you can have a million shirts or whatever.
Yeah, I agree. And I hate how, so I don't know if you've gotten to this part, but your storage does eventually run out, but you can always buy more storage and just put them around the island.
I know, it's amazing. You just buy more storage, until you just, you just have one thing I like to do is I like to have one of each of the items. I don't like to have a bunch, unless I have a bunch of record players, so I have different music in each room. And I have some multiple floor types, so if I wanted to have different floor coverings, then I could have the different ones in this different room. Same one in a different room. I like that you can make the design on the moon. I put one of my designs on there, and then you just get to see it in loom form.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I've never seen this loom pattern, and I was going to also ask you how much do you design on Animal Crossing?
Oh yeah, I do quite a lot of design. I just like doing the patterns. I think it's really fun. But majority of my time, honestly, so I stopped playing a year ago. Back then, I was obsessed with just getting bells, because I wanted to get as many items as I could. So I was collecting fruit all the time.
Yeah.
And then I started sort of getting into builder, construction mode, and doing some construction projects. And then I would say, the thing I did the least probably then was designing stuff. But lately I've been doing more design. This is an old project. I'm using Pavilion. I did this a year ago. And it's pretty fun. I love all the different instruments. I wish they were a little more you could control the sounds that you make on them. That would be cool, but I still like that you can hit them and make sounds.
Oh my gosh, you have a little sound making studio over here with the 2 soundboards.
Oh yeah. I love a pedal situation. So I have all those different things, and then I have my peach grove over here, which is just my peach trees.
Oh my gosh.
That's about it. I don't know I think in my mind these golf clubs belong to the goat. The goat. His name is Chev. Like the cheese. So I'm over. Where did you go? Oh yeah.
Sorry, I think I lost. I was gonna say something and then I was like, oh no, I can find you. Okay, cool.
Oh, that's a on the table. So up here, this is my skeleton, like dinosaur fossil skeleton heads collection. I'm just collecting the heads right now. And this is my lookout area. This is just a little crafting area if I need to craft. This is my welcome center for my, I don't know, I guess for the aliens, because I like how this place is high, like a high up area. There's another lookout zone.
Oh,
And we've got, this used to be my forest, but I got annoyed by all the trees, so I just dug them all up.
I was gonna ask if we could take a picture next to your welcome area.
Oh, yeah.
I keep trying to take pictures for the playing cards and then there you go. 1, 2. Cool, thanks. So why did you stop playing Animal Crossing?
Well, I'll say I started playing Thanksgiving break right before the pandemic, so that November before. And I started because my friend was in town. Him and his partner were obsessed with Animal Crossing. And I had played the Switch with him a lot before. He had one and he would let me borrow it before Animal Crossing came out. And then Animal Crossing came out and they were obsessed with it. So then I wanted it. And we went and got a Switch that week when they were there visiting. And then I started playing. And then winter break came and I just had so much free time. So I was playing all the time. And then the pandemic came and it was like totally an escape. You know, like I had nothing to do. My jobs were all canceled and I was like, I guess I'm just gonna go in this place and live in this world for a little bit. And so I played a lot, like March 2020 until probably October 2020 when I got a job. And I was working full time, and so I really didn't play. And I had like real life, I was like working in a school and I had a lot of real life problems to deal with. In the pandemic, it was weird because it was like a big problem. And I didn't have a job, but it wasn't like the same as having to handle like everyday kind of problems like when I do have a job. So that's why I stopped playing, I guess. And I would play like, I remember playing on like Thanksgiving or Turkey Day last year. And that's how I got like this table and stuff like that. And the first cornucopia. And I got some items this time. And then I played on Toy Day because I liked that you could get so many toys. And that, when I was playing last December, it reminded me that you can, it just reminded me so much of Neopets, which I used to play when I was a kid. In Neopets, you could go like every day in December, you could get like free items. And it was interesting because you sort of felt like they were rare items, but they weren't because just anyone could get them. So then there wind up being a lot of them, but over time they become more rare, I guess. I don't know, I played it a little bit on special holidays or something when I had free time. And then just kept working, and over the summer I didn't play because I was swimming a lot. Stuff like that.
Do you feel like when you play this game, you're more free roaming it than trying to complete any one like collection of objects and tasks?
I create tasks for myself like each time I play. So, for example, when I was getting my island ready for you to come, I went around and I dug up all of the former money trees. You know, like trees that become just like hardwood trees, but they used to be money trees. So I dug them up and I dug up a bunch of like flowers that were overgrown, and I tried to pick up all my items, but then I ran out of time, so now there's just these items that are around here. So I'll set up like, I'll have things I want to accomplish. And sometimes I'll get like a little off track. Like I'll be doing something and then be like, oh, actually I want to go do this. Oh, I didn't even know all these guys were over here. Yeah, I love diving for the sea creatures. Yeah, I guess it's pretty free roam. But the ultimate goal is like, well, like I said, so when I was preparing for this, it was about cleaning up the island and making it like look and feel better than it did after being neglected for so long.
Yeah.
But before, it was always about like getting the fruits, collecting all the fruits so that I could sell them and get bells so that I could get better items. That was it. Just like capitalism.
So are you really drawn to like grabbing more items as well? I was gonna also ask that question. I guess the first question was more towards like, you know, do you aim to complete your art museum or like the total collection of fossils? And then in terms of like objects, do you really just like how pretty they are, or are you trying to go for a certain vibe where you want specific objects and to buy them for them that reason, to complete a certain look, like match your house certain color? I know some folks, like in my previous interviews, they talked about wanting specific types of stones or to recreate a certain memory, while others are just like, I just really like the plants and I'm trying to collect all the plants.
Yeah, no, I'm just sort of like creating the vibe I want, and I don't think about collecting, like, you know, I guess with the collections of furniture, I think about the collections of furniture sometimes, and I don't really like any of the collections that much, so I just have sort of a mishmash of furniture, but I really like the clothes, so I collect like, I don't know, how can I show you my closet storage or not?
I don't think so. But
let me go. Let's go inside and I'll try. I probably can't, but that's like my favorite thing to collect. And then I like collecting the holiday items because I like how there's like chores you have to do to get them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, so I'm upstairs.
Oh, okay.
What is it? If you go upstairs, what does it look like? Because I guess you can't see. I'm in my closet right now.
I think I can open your closet. Yeah. But I don't think I can maybe see.
Oh, you just see me like.
I'll check your mirror. Oh. It says, I opened it and it says, I guess that makes sense. And then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's my favorite stuff to collect. Just the clothes. I wish there were better, like, I want more rugs. I also really wanted to collect all of the astrology, like, items.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like, my version of Animal Crossing has never, ever shown me a shooting star. and I've like looked so many times.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's so sad, and I like, I've Googled it, I've done all this research, and I'm like, why isn't Isabel like telling me that there's going to be a shooting star thing happening tonight? Because like Celeste comes sometimes.
Yeah.
She comes and she'll be like, here's a recipe for how to make, some magical item, and then I can never get a star.
And you've tried like staying up until 1 a.m.
Yes, I've tried.
Okay.
Because I didn't have a job for months, so I was like, I'm gonna just figure that I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night. Nothing. And I would like come up here and just like look into the sky for minutes, and I would leave it open. Nothing.
So you mentioned that you wrote a paper on Neopets in class, and you have a history with playing like certain types of life simulation, social simulation games. I was just wondering if you'd say more about your paper, and then also with Animal Crossing, is it more because of like the culture versus like you actually find this place as a place that you like find comfort in? Yeah.
You mean, for the second part of the question, do you mean do I like the culture of Animal Crossing and like who plays it, or do you mean like the culture within my world in there?
I think I definitely mean your world in there. For example, getting the holiday special, not gifts, objects, and like being part of the Animal Crossing culture, being able to make these flowers, design on it. Like that's really fun to be a part of. Versus like, oh, you come here to find like a safe space that you can just like do whatever you want and relax and not have to think about anything.
Okay, so I think the first part of the question, the paper, it was like a part of a paper that I wrote where I was writing about like my own identity and the different facets of it and how I thought parts of it had like formed, and one aspect of that paper about that stuff was Neopets and my fascination with like being in this other world where you could like communicate with strangers, because it was really my first entree into like online communication. I was quite young, like 4th grade, and like talking to people on Neopets. My username was Wowzer24, and I would just go on there and like communicate with people. And I also, so it was a mixture, like I loved the animals and that you could like color your different animals different colors and kind of the fantastical elements of it. And I also really liked the simulation, like gameplay aspect where you were like walking around in some kind of medieval place, and it just was sort of like a mismatch of things. And then I loved that you could get like paintbrushes and change the animals. So I liked all of that aspect of it. But then I was also like obsessed with getting rare items and making money from buying low and selling high. So in that paper I wrote about like, my as a child sort of being groomed as a capitalist through Neopets, where you're like participating in this system that seems fun and like you're getting happiness and joy from the creative elements and imaginative elements of it, and then simultaneously, in order to do the imaginative things in there, you needed to collect money so that you could spend it on like the better things, like the starry paintbrush, for example. So that's kind of that paper itself was about identity formation, and then the Neopets part was like about becoming a capitalist, I guess, and like how that interfaces with somebody's creativity, my creativity. And then there was the added element of like getting to go somewhere as a young person where like
Yes.
I could be myself and also be anonymous, you know, and get to just like interact with people or whatever. I think there were people. It didn't seem like there was a lot of bot action at the time. And anyway, so when I figured out about Animal Crossing, I was like, there's so many parallels to Neopets, and I like that it's handheld, you know, because I always had a Game Boy. So it's like kind of feels like the Switch combined Game Boy with the internet in this really nice way that other consoles since Game Boy hadn't quite done for me. I mean, I had a Wii, but it wasn't like handheld the way that the Switch is. And I think that made it like really playable in a way that like my Wii wasn't. I never really played that. I like got that from some people that I nannied for. The kids were like, "We're tired of this. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." I got all their games and stuff, but I didn't really play it that much. Anyway, so I do think that Animal Crossing and the time when I got it and the like cultural moment I was living in, I really needed a place to like go that wasn't my regular online life and also wasn't my in-person life, because that didn't exist during the pandemic, like in the height of quarantine. And I also like moved from Portland to a really rural place in Florida to live in a cabin that didn't have any internet, like in June of 2020. So I was just on my own out there. And I think having the Animal Crossing like it did definitely give me like an escapist respite. But now I don't feel like I have that same relationship to it. I think it's relaxing to play it, but it's more, you know, more interested in like the game elements of it, I guess. Does that answer your questions?
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like you're also being groomed to be a perfect capitalist in this game, or do you feel like there's much more room to take your own path? And also, for example, we started it off with you giving one of your neighbors a gift and your neighbor giving you a gift. Do you feel like there's ways to work around the pathway of just pleasing Tom Nook?
For sure. Like, you really don't have to interact with Tom Nook that much unless you want to expand your place, your island, and like make it into a metropolis. Like, I've been to some islands where I'm like, how'd you even get this stuff? Like, why do you have like paths that are like, they look like avenues in like Disney World or something? And I think that it seems like some people really play it that way. For me, I think while I feel the capitalism part of me when I'm like collecting fruit and selling it and like trying to do the beet, what is it? It's like the beet stock market, turnip stock market. When I'm like doing that stuff, I'm like, I do feel like a capitalist right now. And I'm like, just wanting to buy more items, you know, like shamelessly, that's what I want out of it. But at the same time, I don't feel like I play it in like a hyper capitalist way, you know? I don't usually sell the items that the neighbors give me. And I also don't, I don't know, I don't have like a lot of fancy items, and I don't usually buy the stuff that's like big screen TV. I'm just like, I don't really want that. I mean, I have a little flat screen TV in my fruit room, but yeah, I'm not really trying to make like a home that's that much different than the one that I live in. Except for like the fruit room, because I can't really have that here. And my house in Animal Crossing has more rooms than my house in real life, but it doesn't have like an especially like grandiose quality compared to my life. It's kind of the same. Like the other day, Spencer walked in while I was playing, and he was watching it on the TV, and he was like, "That living room looks just like our living room." And I was like, "Nah, not really. Like, it's pretty different." And then I was like, "Oh, I guess it's kind of the same." And the backyard area is kind of like my backyard area. So, yeah. I think the clothes I pick are also like my clothes. It's just like an escape from socializing. Like, because there's really not a social element to this game. You're like, you can interact with the neighbors if you want to, but they don't really talk to you. And then I don't play with other people. Like, I've tried it sometimes, like, when I first started playing, I would go to my in real life friends' islands because I wanted to get other fruit types, basically.
Yeah.
I was like, "Can I come? Do you have oranges? Like, I need oranges. I have apples, whatever." And I also noticed that they had like different stuff in their shops sometimes, and so I liked going for that reason. But one time I was at a friend, the person that I was visiting, they were kind of like an acquaintance friend. And I went to their island, and I was walking around, and they have one of those islands that's like a Disney World. Okay, it's like Disney World. They had like big towering like brick things and stuff like that. And then I noticed that they had pink roses, and I was like, I don't know how you get those. Like, I'm gonna dig one up. And I was not like with the friend when I was roaming around on their island, and another friend was with us. There was 3 of us, and they were doing something with Ralph, and I was like walking around, and then I just dug up one of their pink roses. And I didn't tell them about it, and then like later felt really bad and told them. So anyway, I just don't find the social element very compelling, and I think for me it's mostly about just like being alone and creating my own like universe. And I love that I can have all these different kind of bathtubs and pools. So this is my hot tub area, but the problem is that I can't go in them. I find that really annoying, actually. And over here, this is my trash island.
Oh, I see it. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I thought that I needed something like a bit more like trash islandy, and so I created it. But I don't know why I can't get on it right. Oh, there we go. So we've got a gas pump, tires, trash bags, a fake bush, and some radioactive stuff. So I also like fishing. I like that I do try to collect the different fish, and like I like to collect the different bugs as well. But I don't know how many I have.
So do you, in terms of the DIY stuff, I've been talking to a lot of, for example, a fashion design artist. I've also talked to an installation artist, and they've all suggest like using Animal Crossing as a learning tool for those types of, for example, like a glass arts class is like $300 for arts materials. Might as well like buy a Switch. Would you think Animal Crossing is like a learning tool for certain types of like art disciplines?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think that if you play it a lot, especially as a kid, if you're a kid that's playing it a lot and you're like getting really into the design function and really into the building construction stuff, I could see that having an impact on your like spatial awareness and your design eye, and probably building those skills. But I don't know if it would like directly, like I don't know. I'm not a fashion designer, but I just think if you don't already do fashion design, I don't think this would necessarily like teach you a lot about it. It would just give you like a platform to experiment and explore the general idea. And I don't know if that's like as effective for an adult, because I don't know, there's something about like how adults process where and how you learn things. I just don't know. I think for me, it's definitely been I think I've learned a little bit about making patterns, just in terms of like how things repeat and where, you put emphasis in a pattern. I've never really done it before this. So I guess I feel like I have learned something, but not a lot. It's just like what you learn from exploring something on your own, which can be a lot, but it also can leave big holes. And the reason I say that is like, so I teach art to kids now, and my approach is like, I create an opportunity where kids have access to all these different materials, and I show them the materials, and I tell them how to use them, and I show them how to use them. And then I say, okay, now like you can use them and experiment and explore them with them however you want. And the thing I've noticed is that like many kids don't learn that way. Like they really don't. It has to be a more directed thing for a lot of people to learn, like what you are expecting them to learn, in terms of using materials. And that's where I think that this kind of falls short as a learning tool, is there's no one showing you exactly how to do certain things. And so you might never realize that you could design your own pattern, or the extent to which you could design the patterns for the entire ground if you wanted to. I don't know. It's an interesting like pedagogical question actually, because it's confusing to me. I would think that if you like put aluminum foil and popsicle sticks and string in front of a 8-year-old, they would immediately like want to make something out of it, or like figure out something they could make like within an hour. Mm-hmm. And weirdly, like a lot of them just don't. They either like squish the aluminum foil into a useless ball.
Yeah.
Or they like, wish they had glue or tape. And they just don't really like, they don't do what I think they would do with it. Some of them do, like 10% of them just like make something amazing out of it within 40 minutes and like move on to the next thing. But I guess learning that sort of does require more than just facilitation a lot of times. And I never really thought that before I started teaching elementary school. I just thought people absorbed things as they like did them. But it's not quite true for everyone.
So we have 10 more minutes left. I also wanted to ask you more about your favorite pattern on the island, and then another question in terms of, do you feel like if your island was gone the next day, or you lost the game and you had to start all over, would you be phased? Like, is this a precious area? Could you create an altar in this area? And I just lost you, and I will find you again. But oh, thank you. Cool. Yes, that was my question.
Okay, if the game, so I actually considered like just erasing this game and starting a new one when you were like, let me have your island. I was like, this island it's a waste. And then I was also like, maybe if I restart the game, then the shooting stars will come. So I don't think, yeah, I don't really care. I do have an interesting story about a, a guy that his Halo disc broke. This is in 2008, and this guy's Halo disc broke. It like fell on the ground and it lost all of the data of his game.
Oh, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah, and then it spurred a kind of a psychotic break in this person, and I wound up meeting him. He like was on a journey. He was in like video game world, but in real life, walking through the streets, and he appeared at my friend's party and was like, you know, I took the red light sign. When the red light came, it was a sign to go left, and you know, he was like telling us all this stuff, and he ended up like coming to my parents' house without telling. It was a very, very weird situation. Kind of like a weird mix of magic and like psychic qualities and premonitions and video games. And I didn't know that his Halo game had broke. And a year after this weird incident happened, this other random stranger came up to me at a coffee shop and was like, "Are you Roz Crews?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So-and-so, I'm so sorry about so-and-so because he, you know, his Halo disc broke and it caused him to go on this weird," and I was like, "What? This is nuts." So I think I totally understand that people have that relationship to games, and I just don't. I'll just start over. And then the other thing is that my favorite pattern on the island, this is my least favorite pattern. I hate the grass pattern. It is horrendous. And my favorite pattern, I think it's the one on my loom. Let me see if I can't build while you're here. I guess I could just show you the loom again. It's just like a purple and blue pattern. It's not really even a pattern, that's why I like it. I'm on the bottom floor in the basement.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about aesthetics yet in your class. And you really haven't mentioned it in this game, or like needing things to be perfect in a way or look a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you feel like the game isn't, like, you don't really care about that part of the game? Or do you feel like it kind of translates to your feelings towards art is the way you approach this game, that you can, like, you should be able to do whatever you want with it, however you want with it?
Yeah, I think I definitely care about aesthetics. But I also, well, and I'm also a perfectionist and a control freak, but I think at the same time, like, it's a little off. It's like a little off, you know? Like, it's kind of weird to me that I would be an aesthetic, like, control freak, and this is what my basement in my Animal Crossing house looks like. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, why did I pick that baseball mitt chair? And I think the reason is it's just kind of one of the weirder objects that you can get in the game. And I think, like, this giraffe floor reminds me of a tile that was in my family home growing up.
Oh.
And I just wanted this space to look sort of like workshop-y, like have all the, like, there are certain items that I do not have anywhere in my house because for a couple different reasons. One is I think some of them, like me having them as a white woman, feels like culturally appropriative is one reason I don't have certain items. And another thing is like sometimes I don't like the shapes of the items, or I don't like the finishes of the items, or so there's only certain ones that I like that I have in here, you know.
So there is some behind the scenes curation going on.
Oh, definitely, like a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of items I would never have. But I have them in my storage. Some of them. Some I refuse to have at all. But some of them I just don't think I would ever like put out, except maybe if it was the right, like, oh, for example, in the bathroom. The bathroom is kind of a weird place for me aesthetically because I would never want this pink couch or any of this pink furniture, but for some reason I just like how it matches the pink and white wallpaper, and that's why I have it, you know. So there are things like that where I'm like, I really hate the way that furniture looks, but for some reason I think it looks good in this room.
Yeah, and I also have seen less art in your space as well, like pictures of art. I think this is the only one, right?
Oh, I have this one, and then I have, yeah, that's my favorite one. Most of the paintings that I have are in my storage, though, because I don't really like them. But I like this one that's in here, just a reclining, like, lady.
Oh, yes.
I have that one, and then I like these weird arts, like these bug heads, and I like that Brewster painting and the fossil poster. And I think of these things like this lamp, this fruit lamp. To me, that's a sculpture.
Ooh. I didn't even notice this fruit lamp. Oh, yes.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
And also like this cake I see as a sculpture. I even see this heater as a sculpture. And the bird, I really think of all the objects as sculptures, actually. This dice, this is one of my sculptures I just got. It's just a big dice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So.
Well, we have a couple more minutes left, 2 more minutes. Yeah, thank you so much for spending your time after work and showing me your island and going on it and cleaning it for me. Yeah, no, and you're the first person I've met that's actually went like hard on the DIY, the pattern making, because I know a lot of people just like stop at using it because it's just so difficult to use. So it's been cool to see your patterns.
Oh, thanks. I wish I could show you more of them. I don't really. Well, I use them on the wallpaper, but I don't really like I don't like turning them into outfits because I like the outfits that the creators make so much.
Yeah.
I really use the outfit that I make.
Yeah, there's so many outfits. I definitely like the Halloween fits, though, as you can see.
I know, your look is amazing.
It's not that bad.
Like, looking at things.
Okay, well, I'm gonna head to the airport, and yeah, so I guess some final next steps would be I'm making these playing cards. I don't know if you saw them on my email, but
Well, I read about it, but I didn't see any pictures of them yet.
yeah, no worries. Those are just some final steps. I'll be sending that to print tonight. But yeah, this will be archived on YouTube because Twitch deletes videos every 2 weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess my final question, I know it's 3:30, so I guess some final last words would be, are you going to continue playing Animal Crossing after this, or do you feel like it will once disappear?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I feel like I might. No, I'll probably keep playing. I really love like I said, I really like the December like item collection time. So I'll probably play that. And then we'll see. I'm not gonna have a job soon, so maybe I'll be back.
Your Islanders will definitely be grateful.
Well, thanks for coming. I've always wanted to give someone a tour of my island.
Well, of course, and I'm trying to get off of it, but I don't think it's letting me. Maybe I'm stuck here forever. You cast a spell and then.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a good day, Roz. I'll see you Friday in class.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Okay, y'all. I'll be back in 2 hours. I'll be back in 2 hours and 50. Okay, less than 2 hours. 5:15. I'll be back, and I'll be interviewing Candace, and that's my final interview for this entire project. Wow, 8 people total, 8 interviews, 8 islands. It's been cool. All right, I'll see y'all later.